Well, it's May, and it's getting hotter and humider every day. And I don't think I can take it. So I bought this bad boy to stick in the window and cool me off. And the window in question is right here. It's the only window I got, so it's got to fit in that window. And here the air conditioner is out of its box. I unpacked everything, laid it out, tried to see what I have. Came with a few fun things. The wings, of course, for putting it in a double hung window. It came with a few screws and nuts and bolts. Came with a remote control. That'll be handy. But one cool thing is it's magnetic. So it actually sticks right to the air conditioner, and I might not lose it. And it came with the top bracket for when the window comes down, it kind of holds it in. Unfortunately, I read through the directions. It says that it's only for a double hung window, which is the kind of window that goes up and down. I'm trying to put it into a sliding window that's sideways sliding. So none of these directions apply to me, but I'm not fazed. In fact, I'm rather optimistic about this project. Well, I've got the air conditioner up on its back, and I've measured these knobs. They're about 1.125 inches thick. This is my window. These tracks that my panes slide in are about 1.5 inches thick, and it's also not good because there's 3 ledges here, and these front 2 are level, but this back one that the screen slides on is taller than the front ones. So if I just set the air conditioner in there, all of the weight's going to sit on this flimsy piece, and I think it's going to crack it. So I'm going to have to build some kind of a bracket to hold the air conditioner in this window. Well, I appear to have gotten lucky because this being exactly 1.5 inches wide, plus it's got the little felt strip, I cut 2 1-inch wide pieces of 3/4 inch plywood, and if I put them together, they fit in here nice and snugly. So I'm going to start with my frame with this concept in both channels and in the sides. Okay, so I've got spacers all cut to fit in here. These spacers work real good down here, and I'm going to put one board on top of them, and I'm just going to glue and brad nail this right in place. Wait till the glue sets, and then I'll pull it out. And this will give me a good base for the air conditioner to sit on. Okay, while my base is gluing up in the windowsill, I'm going to work on my bottom of the air conditioner here. You can see it's got these nubs that normally fit in a double hung window, but I'm not using that. My base is flat on the bottom, so I'd have one big gap that I'd have to fill with insulation or something. So rather than doing that, I'm going to make a smaller gap that I have to fill with insulation by putting a board on the bottom. That's the same thickness as these nubs. But my issue is, in the center here, there's a drain that runs to the back of the air conditioner and up to the evaporator, which is the part that gets cold and actually does the cooling. And we all know from thermodynamics class that when air is cooled, its capacity to hold water is lowered, which is why we get condensation. That condensation is supposed to leak back and drip outside, and I don't want to interfere with that. So what I'm going to do is to coat it around this drain by marking it, and then I'll attach it to the bottom of the air conditioner and have just a small gap that I have to fill. And I'm just going to coat that out right here at the spindle sander. Nice and coped. The fit of the cope looks pretty good, and that only took a few minutes at the spindle sander. Well, I checked. I can't run screws into here because I'm going to hit the evaporators, so I'm going to try and drill into these brackets and screw my board on down here. So I've got this tacked in here with a screw here and a screw here through my brackets, and now I'm looking at the width of this board down at the bottom edge. If I look inside, it's clear. I can actually sink a sheet metal screw. This is going to end up being a permanent piece to the bottom of the air conditioner, so to keep this tight, I'm going to put silicone on the bottom of here, some caulking, and that'll seal it up real nice. Okay, what I'm doing now is I'm making the header that supports the top of the air conditioner. This is going to sit on here like this. Because this glue joint in here is going to be in tension, since I'm supporting on the back one, not the front one, I'm going to put screws in here to brace it. Well, I've got all the air conditioner pieces made. Now I'm going to see how they fit. Okay, so there's my first rough install, and you can see I had a few problems. I thought there would be enough slop in here for this to actually fit under my header and up against here, but that doesn't seem to be the case. There's no way I have enough clearance to lift it in there with the piece I added to the bottom. I thought it would work by bumping it up against here, tilting it back, clipping it in there, and then lifting the bottom into position, but that didn't work. However, I've used a level and it's actually sitting perfect the way it is. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this top piece and I'm going to flip it around so that the long edge is against the header, and then I'm going to drill some holes in it so I can just run screws and screw it to the header instead of having it clip in. That way the whole air conditioner will just push in from the front. It'll be just like the bottom where I have a plate that I'm going to screw on to hold it from coming forward. At this time I can also check my side clearances on the air conditioner. This is a pretty good gap. It's definitely fillable with a little bit of spongy rubber insulation material. On this side I also have a nice small gap that I can fill with a little bit of rubber. Over here, this pane is going to be pushed tight against there, and it's going to be held in place by some spacers that I cut to fit into here. And you can see if I were to push that down, it would push that pane nice and tight. Then after I close the front pane, I have the same situation here where I can use a spacer in here to hold the front pane tight to that side. So this is the sponge rubber material that I'm going to be putting in here as my gasket. It's just an open cell foam. It's real squishy. It almost is sort of like bubble wrap where you could pop it. I just got it in the insulation section of my local home center, and this is just going to work on all sides. Just stick it up in here and come down, and it'll prevent bugs and heat from escaping. So I guess now all I need to do is reverse that channel and see how it looks up there. Okay, I've laid out my 5 holes and I'm just going to drill them by hand. Also remember to deburr the holes. Okay, so I've changed the channel around to the other side, and now I've screwed this piece in on the bottom to hold the bottom leg in, and if I run some screws in up here to hold it to the header, the air conditioner will be fastened in, and you can see my level outside shows my bubble just on my side of the line, and that means that the whole air conditioner is sloping back, which is perfect. It's very important that the air conditioner is sloping back so that condensation drips outside instead of in here. For all you folks that have trouble with your air conditioners dripping on the inside of your house, you need to find a way to get them sloping back like this one is, and keeping it tilted back will ensure that that water stays outside where it's supposed to be. So now I'm happy with the fit all the way around, and I'm ready to take my air conditioner out, put a little coat of spar urethane on all my pieces so that they can stand up to the weather, and this baby will be ready for a summer of hot weather. So I'm down here in the finishing room, and one note that I would like to quickly make is I was looking at some of these pieces because I made them out of plywood. They have holes, and these holes go all the way to the other side. And that's no good for keeping bugs and heat out and air conditioning in. So I'm going to go ahead and fill those with wood filler. And here's what that gaping hole looks like after wood filling. Woo, got that bad boy in there. It feels nice and cool. What? You didn't expect me to work in the heat? I'm installing an air conditioner. I might as well enjoy it while I'm installing it. Well, I sure did end up with a lot of extra parts. Not sure what I'm going to do with it all, but every good project has extra parts. You know, woodworking really is a wonderful hobby. Gets me out of the house, into the garage, working with my hands. If you're going to be a woodworker, be a cool woodworker like me. Wear safety glasses and think about what you're doing before you do it. thing go any colder? Anyway, if you like my videos, please hit the subscribe button so you'll see when I put out future ones. Till then, see you next time.